Okay, so I don't have a whole lot of tinfoil, so I don't have a whole lot of time. But here's the scoop. Freddy is a rogue Cenobite, and I'm going to explain quickly, more or less, how this is possible. So, Freddy came to be how he came to be. Son of 100 maniacs, all of that. We're aware. He led his life. He grew up. He became a bad guy. Well, he became pretty much the bad guy. Before he became the Freddy that we all know from the series, he was the Springwood Slasher. Leading his life the way he did, put out a certain, well, it led him down a certain path. And, well, the box from the Hellraiser series, the Lament Configuration, it sort of has a mind of its own. Not necessarily, but the box finds you, you don't find it. That sort of thing. If you're looking for the box, you're really only going to find it if it wants to be found. And even if you're not looking for it, really. So, what I think happened, or necessarily what could have happened, is that Freddy, near the end of his long line of child killings, comes across a man. The man gets his attention and tells him about this wonderful little artifact that has, it tells him it's a puzzle box, and if you are able to open the puzzle, it will open a whole new world to you. It'll answer all of your questions and feed your innermost desires. And, well, Freddy takes the bait, we'll say. Not going to dive into how that conversation goes down, but we'll just say that he takes the bait. Brings the box home. And shortly thereafter, evidence comes to light, and he is arrested. The trial goes down. He's released on the technicality. We all know this. The parents hunt him down. He's sitting, and he's reveling at the fact that, he gets to continue. He's free. They couldn't catch him, and he's relishing in this victory. The box catches his eye. He begins playing with the box. The box moves. Freddy becomes more interested. He begins trying to open the box. And it moves again. He becomes really consumed by it. And then, oh my god, ah! We gotta wrap this up. The government is probing, and this little bit of tinfoil is not gonna last. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. He's so consumed that he almost doesn't realize that the parents are coming. And then the box twists and pops out of his hands. He is suddenly aware of the parents surrounding his building, calling for him to come out, and they want to kill him. Fire and pitchforks, the whole deal. Literally, fire. They light the place on fire in an attempt to smoke him out. Freddy becomes trapped. He completely loses sight of the fact he is no longer aware of the box at all, but the box has completed its process and is opening. The gate is open, and just before the end, what should happen but the Cenobites appear. As they typically do, and Freddy, now he's a little different. They're not going to simply take him and send him off to his own personal little hell. They see potential in him. He was a twisted, evil son of a bitch. The twisted, evil son of a bitch. But he has potential there for punishment. And so instead of being shipped off to his own personal little hell, he is taken, much like the Doctor in Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, and the process of turning him into a Cenobite himself has begun. And that's really where it goes. But, so, Nightmare on Elm Street, the series, he's obviously not a Cenobite. So, or it would appear so. So what happens is that after he has been turned, he still retains that bit of individuality. He has to complete the work that he began. He has to kill the rest of those kids. The box has been opened once again, and Pinhead, Chatterer, the whole crew, the whole lovely bunch goes off to do what they do. Freddy sees an opportunity, tries to escape. Doesn't go so well. He's caught and punished and sent to the realm between realms. And there he is supposed to stay for an indeterminable amount of time. This is not visited upon, and there is no evidence to indicate any of this. This is all speculation, but it's all possible. So, while there, he is, in life, he was very in tune with the fear and things that his victims felt. It fed him. In this new form, it is really no different. But in the realm between realms, he is not a physical being. But he can still be fed by fear. And something that the Cenobites may or may not know is that this realm between realms, the barrier between there and the dream realm is very thin. Unlike the barrier between Freddy's current realm and the labyrinth, ruled over by the Leviathan, that barrier is thicker. And the barrier between Freddy's current realm and the physical realm is very thick. He can't touch these realms, but he can at least experience things to an extent, feel them, or be aware of them via his feelings. So, kids are dreaming, and this is, despite the time that he feels has passed in the labyrinth, during his time in the labyrinth, it feels like it's been an eternity, but in the physical realm, a very short amount of time has passed. He has only just been killed by the parents' perspectives. They believe him to be dead, and same with the kids, and their nightmares. He feels the fear. He doesn't know at first exactly where it's coming from, but it's the same as he felt when he was alive. Only it doesn't just feed his mental state. He is a sort of mental state in this form. It feeds his very being, his power. He grows from it. And so he follows this sense of fear. And as it's feeding him, fueling him, he stumbles across the fact that he can look into the dream realm, and experiencing that fear, fueling him, making him more powerful, trying to get close to it, he realizes that he can push into the dream realm. He can sort of reach into it. He can't fully affect this realm yet, but he's pushing into it, and as he grows from this fear, and as he grows from this fear, he's always trying to push. He's always trying to reach it. He's drawn to it, obsessed with it. He stumbles into the dream realm itself. Now, this is where suddenly he exists in their world. Well, not necessarily in their world, but he exists once again to them. They can see that. They can see him. That fear, it triples. It grows exponentially, and he grows exponentially from it. His power does. So he continues to grow from it until he can affect that. He can affect the dream world, the dream realm. He can hurt them, and that fear only grows further, and so does his power. And Freddy, as we know it, is born. So that's my theory. That's how Freddy is a rogue Cenobite. The lore that we know from each respective series can even be the same. It's just that the ones researching the box and the Cenobite and everything, the ones researching all that stuff in the Hellraiser series, they got much further. They uncovered much more. So they have a very clear picture of everything that's going on. Events, the boxes themselves, the Cenobites, bits about them. And any research done from the point of view of the researcher or researchers in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, it didn't get as far. It got as far as knowing that Freddy got his powers from these supposed dream demons. Demons, sure, to some, angels to others. I like to think. The Cenobites. It was really just about Freddy's origins. So they really didn't get any further. Whether they were killed or any research that we are aware of as part of that series, it didn't get any further for whatever reason. That's all that we are privy to from the point of view of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So that explains that from a certain point of view. And I'm going to follow this further, and I'm going to go into greater depth, more detail in another video, and I would like to go from there and even explore this as a sort of fan fiction series, picking up from where we leave off. Okay, they're probing pretty hard, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for your time. Scotty out.